Well, we are on day 3 of the good and bad. Can you believe that? We're on day 3. Today I want to talk to you about the recession that took place in 2008 to 2011. And actually, I was looking up some stuff, and it was actually called the Great Recession. If you didn't know that, just a little information. There was a lot of great things that came from that. I know some people actually started a business, and some people did a career change. Some people went back to school. I'm one of those. And then companies actually started improving their hiring process and some of the ways that they develop their employees and stuff. So there was a lot of great things that came from a bad time. And that's what I wanted to share. I wanted to share that time. During that time, I actually worked in mortgage. I was part of the big recession fall. And I actually had been considering going back to school. I had been thinking about it for a couple of years. And in 2010, our company had announced a 3-tier layoff. And y'all, people were volunteering to be laid off. And I was like, y'all crazy. I am not. No. I am not going to be laid off. I have 2 kids. I'm a single parent. I am not going to volunteer to be laid off. That's that. And however, long story short, God started working on me, and I actually volunteered to be let go in the last tier, and I was let go. And then I had a time period of just sitting and waiting for school to start, and that was wow, that was hard. It was a time to grow my faith and stuff, because it was like 3 months, y'all. I had people calling me, offering me jobs, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna go back to school. I'm just gonna walk in faith. I'm gonna go back to school. And how you gonna pay your bills, Wendy? I don't know, but I'm just gonna go back to school. And so it was a really challenging time. And if you saw my video earlier, it was in regards to the birds and faith and how God takes care of us. And that was a strong passage that I really hung on to during that time, and I had to repeat it to myself continuously. I had to get on food stamps. I was on unemployment. It wasn't like, oh yeah, let's just go and God's gonna take care of me. I'm gonna go to school and everything's gonna be good. No, he took me the hardest route to go to school, and that was part of it. And so it was truly a challenge. It was a true lifestyle change. However, I will never give that up, y'all. That time was a life changing for me personally. I was the type of parent that I had money, so I bought whatever I needed for my kids. And what I mean by that, we had birthday parties that were extravagant because I had the money and I could afford it. And my kids did not want for nothing, even being a single parent and stuff like that. But the truth is, my kids didn't really want that. My son, when I told him, my kids were young, and my son, he was little, but he was like, Mom, so you gonna start cooking now? If you need a job, you could go to McDonald's, because that's where we ate all the time, and they could teach you how to cook. And truth, yeah, I knew how to cook, but I guess I just didn't know how to cook. Or I didn't cook a lot, let's just put it that way. It was so much easier just to grab that fast food and bring it home and take care of my kids that way, with homework and everything going on. However, in that time, I learned how to become a better mom. I remember having to cook 3 meals a day because there was no eating out. We didn't have no money. And my aunt, she was like, it's tiring, isn't it, huh? And I said, girl, you just don't know. She goes, yeah, I know. Because, back in the day when my aunt and my mom were being raised, that was the norm. This whole going out to eat thing was not the norm. Cooking 3 meals a day for your family was the norm. And so she goes, it's tiring, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it's tiring. But there was a lot of adjustments I had to make. And sometimes I was like, I don't know if this was really worth it. But the good is that in that, I will never give up that time because I learned how to appreciate my kids more. I learned how to spend quality time with them instead of just some time with them. I learned the importance of family and what it was to cultivate a ground that was growing and thriving. And I learned the importance of relationships. And I learned how to value people in a way that I had never valued people before. And so I learned a lot of great things. I got an education out of it. I'm in education right now. I work in education. And to be honest, y'all, I never thought that I would be in education. You ask my sister and she will say, she laughs. She actually laughs. You know, I actually have taught English and she's like, I can't believe you teach English, girl. You can barely speak it. And I'm like, I know, right? But, so there's a lot of things that God has taken me down, and I didn't think that this is the path I would be on, and I still don't really understand why I'm on this path, but I do enjoy it. I truly enjoy it. And so I look back and I think, had that recession never happened, I don't know if I would have ever walked out a mortgage. I don't know if I would have ever walked away a mortgage. I worked for a really good company. I had a great CEO, and I enjoyed mortgage. And so I don't know. And I look at my life now and I look at the relationship I have with my kids, and you know, we've had some hard times, but the relationship I have with them, it was worth it. It was worth giving it all up. It truly was. And so there was a lot of great things that came out of that. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me being in that situation, that bad situation, to even want to give those things up, to even want to consider doing it a different way. But here I am. I think that was in 2011. So we're almost what? It was in 2011 I got laid off. So we're almost 10 years away. And I wouldn't give that up for the world. There's a lot of great things I could tell y'all that happened, but those are some things I just wanted to highlight. And I do, and now I have a degree, and I'm actually going for my master's. Who would have thought? My sister still is amazed at me. Y'all, I was the trouble kid in school. I can barely speak. I have trouble pronouncing words. I taught phonics, y'all. I had trouble pronouncing words. I have trouble reading, just a lot of different things. So if you ever see me like stumbling, you know, that might be why, just a little bit. But anyway, so I just wanted to say a lot of great things can come if you're open. If you're open to what, to the new ideas that God wants to place on your heart right now. And why it might be bad, and it's gonna be an adjustment like I've said, there is truly a great reward on the other side. And I can't emphasize that enough. When we surrender to God, the greatness that's on the other side. So I look forward to hearing the great things that are to come from where we are right now, even though we can't see it right now.